Hey Nick, we have someone on
Hi,
YouTube saying there's no
good
audio.
good night. This is L Lima Uniform 1 Echo Lima Whiskey. My name is Sebastian from the city of Buenos Aires, Argentina. Checking in. Sure. My call sign, I repeat, Lima Uniform 1 Echo Lima Whiskey. And today I visited the Buenos Aires Radio Club. This is my first visit to that club. It's Lima Uniform 4 Bravo Bravo. I was amazed of all the equipment I saw there in the club, and I can tell you that I have my license only 10 days ago. 10 days ago, the government granted me my to operate a radio. It's a pleasure to speak with the Freestar Network. I give you the word to Mike Zero Juliet Kilo Tango. This station is Lima Union Echo Lima Whiskey. Sebastian from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Well, I operate radio in my previous career. I am a federal officer retired. I am 47 years old, and I make my career of 23 years of service. Okay, I was on duty 23 years, and after that I retired. I always liked the radio, and now that in these days I have more time, I made the last year I made a course, and this year in April I passed the exam, and well, 10 days ago I get my license. And Freestar, I was monitoring the page of the one of the dashboards, and I saw the traffic in this node, and I enter. Now I'm transmitting using the Android app Pinet. I still don't have equipment. I still don't have equipment to transmit on digital modes, and I am using Pinet with an Android phone. Okay, I give you the word to Mike Zero Juliet Kilo Tango. This is Lima Uniform 1 Echo Lima Whiskey. Over.
and gentlemen. Nick in the group, long time no hear. Can't 6BXX.
Go to see if I can join the Zoom chat. I will join it. I enjoy a lot speaking with you. Thanks a lot. 7-3.
Checking. It's been a while. I'm off. Well, most of the last 2 weeks. I had to work this past Sunday, but I still made field days, North Hills Club, and we did okay. But yeah, Wednesday nights has been more of the wild time. Trying to keep balance with family. I'm sure you know what that means there, Nick. But also, too, Nick, congratulations on your, I think your mom's wedding. Did I catch that correctly on Facebook? Congratulations, too. So, well, it's going to get a busy weekend, too, and sounds like things are doing well for you up there with your job and with the ham radio. And like I said, most Wednesday nights has been more family time, trying to keep it balanced between family and radio. But it's good to check in you guys. So I hope you guys are doing well. I'll stop back in soon. So thanks again, Nick. You guys have a great night. Take care, 7-3. So catch you soon again. Can't 6BXX.
KF6FUP, Hayward, California. All right, thank you for letting me join the net. This is the first time I've done that on this particular frequency. And I haven't been on the radio much this year or last year, and I've decided to break out the, using my FTDR, quite the radio. It's expensive as it is. But anyway, thank you for letting me join. Again, this is KF6FUP. The handle here is AJ, Alpha Juliet. No, I've been ticketed since 1995. Got into ham radio. My wife and I got into ham radio, KF6GPH, when cell phones just weren't around, and I stayed with the hobby. She kept her tickets, and she didn't get on very much. I wanted to go to field day, but I work 10-hour days these days, so I didn't quite make it, and I'm getting into QRP, and I'm probably going to get my general one of these days here soon, so I can do some HF. But, no, I just want to know how this radio sounds. I really haven't gotten any feedback on it. What do you think? KF6FUP. Roger that. Again, I am talking to you from Hayward, California, out by the bay, and it's KF6FUP. Back to the net.
Kilo November 6, Golf Lima Golf, Troy in Folsom, California. Well, good evening. I actually had to miss field day this year. Kind of been living vicariously listening to the after-action reports on the nets across the valley. And right now just trying to stay cool here in the Central Valley.
KN6 UNE, Edwin checking in from San Mateo, California. It's going well. Yeah, I last night I joined on the Zoom, but the repeater's up, so I thought I'd try joining on the repeater. It's good to know I can connect, and you guys can hopefully hear me all right. Cool, thank you. Yeah, happy to be back with you guys. My field day went pretty well. Met up with the San Mateo Radio Club and got to hop on HF, 40 meter and 80 meter. First time, so that was a cool experience. Yeah, it was pretty active when I hopped on. I didn't hop on till late. It was about 10 p.m. on Saturday night when I hopped on, and I was making lots of contacts. Most of them were in the middle of the U.S., a lot of Colorado, Utah, Oregon, Washington, so West Coast and middle of the U.S., but the furthest contact I made was East Coast. I got their section, or I can't remember what the exact term was, but it was MDC, so I'm guessing around D.C., Maryland area. That was my best guess, but definitely East Coast, because the other sections there were like Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Can't wait to get on HF. Got to pass my general, but yeah, look forward to it.
Yankee Charlie to Delta Ocean Papa YC DOP. Yeah, first of all, I would like to say good evening. Maybe it's evening time now. My name is Alpha Romeo Yankee, and I am sitting in Nine in Indonesia. So greeting Indonesia, very good morning. It's morning time in the 10:30 in the morning. Thursday in the morning, and yeah. I was talking about the field. Actually, at the first I have a plan to join that field day because I have the privilege on a remote station on the US. So some station give me the privilege so I can tune the remote and plan to join. But at that time, I have something to do, so I missed that field day. I believe that this was a very great event and field day. Back to you. Oh yeah. I will, and again I will apologize as well about my English. Maybe it's too hard for you to understand my English. Back to you, bro. So, well, thank you. Actually, I have nothing to say, but just to appreciate for some station who giving me a TI preferred, and I think that you guys are very lucky on in US. For there there are a lot of remote station that you can tune, and although we have no HF radio, we can still make a contact with the station. Yeah, that's all from me. This is Yankee Charlie to Delta Ocean Papa, and thank you very much for picking me up. Back to net control. Thank you.
N6 EFR. I'm good. How are you guys doing? Hanging in there. Field day was great. I got to go out to the VVR's club thing at Rio Vista. It was hot, but other than that, it was like a good time over there. Seeing everybody set up, and walking around. Even got to see Don's setup when he was doing like a little bit of CW, and I was just like, oh, that's just cool. But yeah, I didn't get much as far as contacts in. I tried to do some simplex on the 2 meter when I was going home. That was about it. I didn't even hit anybody. Zen 6 EFR. Yep. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep.
KN6 ETB. No, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad you got to go and watch me run my errands. Drop the kids off to Vacation Bible School and, pick them up and do other things. I'm surprised it was her first time going to Tower 20. You don't realize, when you're so far away, you don't really think about the people that, come to visit and you're like, oh yeah, it's like everyday occurrence. Like we can go anytime we want. And, you know, I didn't know that you had never been there, but, then again, you live, 1,000 miles away. But no, field day was a lot of fun. I didn't get around to building my cubicle quad antenna that I was wanting to build. I ended up getting too enveloped in my Jeep. But it comes and goes in waves. I've been kind of radio silent for the last couple months, and field days, something I always set a time for to make sure that we do something and do it big. So I brought out the tower, big Delta loop again, big flying V, and made some park rangers a little frustrated, I think, at first, but it is what it is. Who brings a tower to go camping? Well, I do. So it was cool. I definitely set a mission out to make more than 12 contacts than I did last year, and I did. I made 25. So big win for me. I wasn't. I don't go to field day to make big contest contacts. I go for the people and have fun and show people what you can do and make it a teaching moment. So it was kind of nice to be able to teach some other people, things that they can do outside of their regular, tech license, or things that they can do with their tech license. Like I talked to one gentleman about APRS and using it for camping and hunting and being able to show things outside of just the traditional HF contacts or regular handheld VHS stuff that you can do with your radios. So field day was kind of a good teaching moment, and it definitely lets you expand your knowledge of other folks that just don't even know. Because there's a time that I didn't know either. So it was really cool to have the ability to go out and talk to people and ask questions and things like that. So and I think majority of the people ended up operating my station more than I operated my own. So to me, it's kind of like a call what you want. I call it a pat on the back. I did something good enough that people want to utilize and not just stare at. And it was cool. What else? Oh, I'm excited. Nick actually got off his little dinky radio and decided to hop onto Big Daddy's radio, 100 watts, get off that 5-watt business, and make some real contacts and not just yell in his microphone for like an hour walking up and down the grass. So that was a lot of fun. KN6 ETB.
Alpha 6, Romeo Echo Lima, Burlingame, California. Name is Bob, Bravo, Oscar Bravo. The field day was fantastic. Lots of hours putting up antennas and a tower with antennas and all that goes with it. And a lot of work and a lot of fun. San Mateo Radio Club, which is here in Mid-Peninsula, south of San Francisco, near the San Francisco airport. Over. Oh, it was paradise. Evening got a little cool about maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning, excuse me. But other than that, it was beautiful. Not too much wind. We did lose one antenna. It was my antenna, an 80 or 40 meter bazooka, but it was an old guy, and it's repairable. And we put up something else. But we had 3 stations. And a lot of people coming through, a lot of new members in our club, some that showed up and got on the air, and I kind of went to bed about 1:30 in the morning and got up about 4:30 and then continued on from there. So that was a great time. Lots of fun. Looking forward to next year. This is KA6REL.
KN6 DAL N6 CTR. Oh, thanks, Nick. You're welcome anytime. Here at Le Chateau de Dan Mobile, we try to make sure our guests are as comfortable as possible, even when the AC can't defeat the afternoon sun and we're hitting 85 degrees in the trailer. But to answer your question, I started off with 10 meters in the morning, total drag, phone's useless on 10 meters in the morning, apparently. Again, the CW contact that chose to just recycle his call sign over and over. Frustrating, but it was fun to watch you try CW because I don't know what I would have done trying to get on CW for the first time. And I really enjoyed being a part of that. 15 meters was dead, but that could be because my coax wasn't connected all the way at the time. Connor brought out this commercial grade equipment that's worth thousands of dollars to tell me the coax wasn't screwed on tight enough. So 15 meters was a total loss. 20 meters, again, Connor used his special equipment to tell me that I was high in SWRs because the element's too long. I'm kind of a crybaby in the heat, so I decided, you know what, Nick, you do your QRP on 20 meters. And you did, and you looked like a guy from the 80s with his first cell phone on that Elecraft and that telescoping antenna, just walking around the field like, hey guys, I'm doing 20 meters, which is actually pretty cool because most of us are confined to a trailer or a power source for HF. So that was pretty neat to see. And then the magic sweeping moment for me was 40 meters. I got 8 contacts really, really fast though. And it was my first time using logging software on a computer. I brought my whole workstation with me. And the logging software we were using, I was really impressed with. I really enjoyed it. It allowed interlinking between other machines via Wi-Fi, and tells you if you have duplicates. So that was a pretty neat feature, my first time using it, and I look forward to using it again. Let's drop. N6ETR, continuing with my rambling. Sandy Beach itself was a wonderful location. I had a great time seeing everybody that were either camping or just for the day. I got to see David and Bert there when they were there for the day, and Connor showed up for the day, and it was a wonderful experience. You know, field day, you get to hop on the radio and demonstrate, but it's also fun to just hang out around friends and complain about the heat. So looking forward to doing it again next year. KN60AL and 6ETR, back to you.
KN6DAL, this is Dave, K6WBY. I did make it out to Sandy Beach. As I've connected with the Antinet, however many months ago, this has been something that I've been looking forward to for 6 months or more. And, I didn't have as much time. I just had gotten back from vacation in Hawaii. I didn't have enough time to plan and to make the trip and camp and get set up, but really glad that I made it out. It was great to connect with everybody that I've been talking to and communicating with and texting with and on the Discord chat and just make those connections. It was also really fun and exciting for me to see so many different setups and in people's vehicles, things that they had set up for field day. One thing that holds an interest for me is getting out in the wilderness and setting up and doing some POTA type activation stuff. So it was great to really see everybody in that temporary situation. However, my shack project aside, it was great to really see that and get that experience. So really had a good time. Living here, I'm used to the heat. So, however hot it is, it was expected, and you can keep wishing, Nick, but I don't think we're ever going to see a time when you're going to get a nice, comfortable, day in the middle of June, in the end of June, in this area. That's for sure. The other exciting thing I have to report in ham radio this week for me is I finally took every single person's advice that I had mentioned this issue to, and ordered some ferrite beads and put a ferrite bead on that USB cable coming out of my head unit, where I was consistently having that connection between my iPhone and my head unit running Apple CarPlay being broken every time the radio keyed up on 2 meters. 70 centimeters, no problem, never an issue. But if I was running APRS or keyed up on a 2 meter frequency, it would break that connection every time, which is frustrating if you're navigating through an unfamiliar area and all of a sudden you lose your navigation. So it was something I'd been kind of dealing with, and I finally just broke down and did it, and it fixed it like that. It's performing perfectly now. So did a lot of testing last night with the VVR check-in, and then talked to a friend here in town for 20 minutes straight, and didn't have any reoccurrence of that very consistent problem. So advice I had picked up here and just everywhere else, and that was exciting for me to finally overcome that hurdle. But having a great week, and just really excited to be participating in field day, and looking forward to the next one for sure. Yeah, it absolutely fixed the problem. No issues whatsoever. So it's something I had been, fighting with and being frustrated with for months, since I installed the radio in the truck. I kind of did both at the same time. As I was pulling the headliner out to install my antenna and everything else, at the same time I had the whole dash torn out to install that big Tesla style screen. And so I never really had one before the other, so it's been kind of a consistent problem. And I had tried a couple of other things, longer wires, shorter wires, but knowing kind of where I'm at with the shack project, and as those things are moving forward, I decided I need a big old bag of those things anyway. And so I just ordered a big old bag off of Amazon. I put one on the cable going into the head unit and one on the iPhone cable to start with. And then I swapped iPhone cables to see if that made a difference, and found that only one on the cable going into the head unit fixed the problem, and problem free now.
KJ6RWQ, I'll just say hello. Well, I actually made a QSO at the space station, so that was kind of like the highlight of the year for me so far. Over. QSL is exactly what it was. I'm sure they knew it was field day, and as they were passing over, the U.S., they were certainly getting bombed with calls. One of our guys, Bob, KM6BXZ, he contacted them about 6 p.m. On Saturday evening. And he was stunned and shocked that they actually replied. And then I was like, we got to try it. So it passed over us about 11 a.m., and he let me make the calls, and I got him. And it definitely 100% was an astronaut. I called out W6 Whiskey 6 VVR, and he came back. He said, Whiskey 6 Victor Victor Romeo, this is November NA1SS. That's what they are. They're NA1SS. And I said, thanks for the contact. And he said, welcome to low Earth orbit. And then there was a pileup. Everybody was hitting him up to get that QSO. So our club actually had 2 QSOs with the space station. I got to tell you, that was pretty neat, man. It was pretty cool. Bob was he had the antennas and an app on his phone, and he was basically spitballing where they were and just kind of pointing into the sky and trying to kind of emulate where they were going, and it worked, and I was just blown away. It was a pretty epic experience. Not really. Just there is one funny thing though, is that we're going, wow, space station QSO, that's got to be worth a lot of points, and it's worth 1 point. That's it. You get 1 point if you get the space station. But we were all excited, because we thought, well, we did it twice, but then we were going to the log, we realized, oh well, technically it's a dupe. So. But it was still really exciting. I don't have anything else to add. I just heard you out here, and I thought I'd just chime in and say hello. And you guys have a terrific evening, and I'll catch up with you later. KJ6RWQ.
Nick, did you? I was gonna say side subject, but have you ever seen Stranger Things?
Oh yeah.
So you know when he's like in the middle of a field and he's like, Susie, Susie, you hear me? And he's like trying to catch her on the ham radio. That's what I was telling Dan when you were walking across a grass field and you had this thing in your hand. I'm like, look, man, he's trying to call Susie.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I noticed how you went from 5 watts transmission, no contacts, to 100 watts and big antenna, and you were cramming them down at people's throat. You're making contacts, with one call coming back. Yeah, no, it was ridiculous. I mean, like, or like when I was hunting and I came back and 5 people yelling back at me for my call sign as I'm trying to, catch this one guy. Like, I'm hunting and all these people are trying to hunt me, and I'm like, you guys are stupid, Yeah, that's exactly it. Or like right. I mean, it's an emergency preparedness weekend. It's not a
Demonstration.
contest. Yeah. or I like when you took over a dude's frequency for about a minute and a half, trying to get those 2 contacts. You were hunting him down, and then another guy pipes in and is like, "Oh, whiskey 6," and you're like, "Oh, hold on, I'll take this one too." It's like, and then you hand it off to the guy that wasn't even his frequency. You gave it to another guy. Yeah, like, all right, rolling on down this on the wheel here, but
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Was it Jim or I forgot. But oh yeah. Yeah. I think that contact was like 11:30 at night, so there wasn't really a whole lot of traffic going on either.
No. I liked Nick how you reserved space for QRP and YL stations, or no, it was QRP and minority stations.
Minority.
minor stations. Pardon. Absolutely.
Win every time.
Right. Yeah, and the big guys will wait. There's nothing else to do on field day anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
But it is nice just keying up once and breaking the whole chain of line. Like, how many times did we hear that, like, the whole ribbon of people going by a blur, and then you just chime in and whiskey 6, and they're like, oh, hey, VVR, you're saying, you know, and you're just like, all right, cool, roll on down, you know. But yeah, and I definitely. Oh yeah, it's blah, 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 and you're like, what was that? I don't know. Call out Alpha, you know. We would try to make, you know, like a 3 call at the very end, and then nobody would come back, and then we'd be like, we're way off on some of these, and just way off. BOA or K, yeah, KB0.
It's 9.
I mean, it sounds like you'd get a bunch of like really garbled up, you know, voices. I mean,
Well, sorry, I was gonna say the 891 does something like that. It's in one of the filtering options. You can kind of adjust your receive frequency kilohertz, low or high. And I prefer high pitched voices, so I'll adjust up the band, I guess. But
yeah.
So I guess it's kind of the same thing. It's you're splitting frequencies, but not a lot, just by a hair almost.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, so how was your drive to the airport?
That sounds right.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Yeah, you looked mad when you left. I said you looked mad when you left. That's probably just because you were tired and you're just like, I was like, oh, screw you, man. I'm going to bed. Oh man. Yeah, because it was what, like 2:30. We kicked you off off the island there, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. And I woke up at like 3:30, felt the wind blowing my trailer around. I was like, oh man, I need to go check out the tower. And I'm like, well, I haven't heard a big crash, so I think we're all right. So I just went back to sleep and I woke up at 5.
Oh man, I made it all the way to 7 o'clock. My head, I fell asleep before my head hit the pillow. Made it to 7.
Oh yeah, I sat there for a little bit and I was like, you know what, time to take a shower. Took a shower and everything, and I was like, all right, it's 6 a.m. Good time to bring out the rattle gun and wake up the neighbors. took the tower down. Yeah.
While the wind was calm, it was the right thing to do.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
What'd the park ranger say when you were setting up?
Oh, I set up and I left. But hey, I gotta get something out of the wife's eye. So I'm gonna say goodnight to y'all. I gotta be up at 3 a.m. And don't work too hard, y'all.
All right. See ya.
Good to see you.
Yeah. I gotta go too. I gotta wake up earlier than usual.
Doing all good. Pleasure to join you guys again. I got a question actually, if you guys got time for it. I was just wondering, it might just, there might not be, that's the word I'm looking for, predominance one way or the other, but I was wondering, for people doing VHF and UHF from home, is there like a strong, do people lean more towards using HT for that, or like a mobile radio at home doing that, or is it just, whatever people have and prefer? I was just wondering about that. Gotcha. And yeah, I was wondering about that. Because there's a ton of repeaters around. Sometimes I try to connect to someone and tell me, yeah, your signal isn't very good. And I'm all, yeah, I'm just on HT. So I figured I don't, getting an antenna on my roof would help a lot, but I don't, then after that, it's like, do I need the mobile or can I hook up that antenna to my HT? I wasn't sure what the next move would be. And I just wasn't sure if, most people lean one way or the other for. Mhm. Yeah. Okay, cool. No, thanks.
The antenna, I
wondering
think,
about
is
that.
the biggest part of the start of the conversation. When you were coming into the repeater, and it's really important on your area. Where I'm at, there's a couple of repeaters around me that I can easily hit with my HT, but there's nobody on them. They're just not utilized at all. Or there's one repeater that's tuned to the dewdrop or something like that all the time, and it's just constantly one net after another. So I never